Welcome back to the garage with Jeff. And we're not working on the LTD 440. Yeah, we are. We're in Canada because
a boot. That's a boot. Sorry.
Now, it's been a while. Like I said, I'm just picking away at this bike, and I just want to hear it run and run stable, get some fresh oil in the crankcase, and then park it while I get back to other projects. These carbs are going to need another overhaul at some point. Ooh, they're stiff. I'll have to oil that. But like, there's some corrosion on these things, right? Like I don't really want to take these butterflies apart. Now, the benefit is these are just the choke butterflies, so it's not as critical as these butterflies. These don't seem to be very corroded. It's just these ones that were open to the backside. So maybe I'll take those apart. It's just that these screws are here, and most of these butterflies, well, almost all of them that I've ever met, on the inside they're peened over so that there's no chance they're going to wiggle loose and then go into your engine, because that's bad. So it's always a real bugger to get these out and to get them back in, because once you get them in, you can't peen them over again. Like, I don't know how they do that from the factory. Like, it's going to be real hard to peen them over on the inside here. I mean, you can always use Loctite, of course, but anyway. Right. So where we left off last time is we put a little bit of paint on the top. We changed out some new screws, some new hardware all the way around. Yes, they're not perfectly clean. They could use an ultrasonic, or they could use a little more of my attention, but that's probably all we need to do for now. The other big problem was we had drilled out one of the pilot jets, and that's all that's left of it there. So let's get these carb bowls back off and find out which one we have. And I think I got gaskets too, so we'll just replace those now. Then we'll slam these back on the bike and see if we can get it running. I was hoping to get some painting done today, but the wind is just howling so freaking bad. I'm serious. It's just blowing everything around in my garage. If it's not rain, it's snow. If it's not snow, it's wind. We also got some fork seals for later. All right, so here's our. We also got a fuel cap seal when we get that fuel tank sort of working. Now, how are those needles? We're going to replace them anyway, I think. They don't seem too bad, actually, but we're going to replace them since we've got new ones. Now, I'm not using everything from this kit. I know I'm not replacing some of the stuff here. Do you see air mixture screws here anywhere? Yeah, I don't know. Guess we won't need those because I don't see them anywhere in these carbs. We'll put everything else back. Oh, before I do though, so this is an air idle mixture screw, and I don't see them on these carbs, and most carbs do have them. And the biggest thing is it's got this tubing over here in the package, because this little needle is extremely important, because that's what seals when it's in there. And that's why whenever they tell you you're adjusting your air fuel mixture on your idle, to be very gentle, you want to seat this very lightly and then go out 1.5 or 2.5 turns, depending on what your manual says to do. Because those will break off if you torque this down too much, and that's what you don't want to do, because you'll never get that out. That carb will be toast. You'll have to drill it out, and by then your hole's probably too big, and a new one's not going to seal, and you're asking for a world of hurt. All right, so we're just going to take the gasket and the needle seat is all we want out of here for today. All right, let's clean those needle seats up while we're in here. Why do we need Q-tips? I've probably shown this in other videos, but we will see here in a second. These aren't the cheap ones either. This is a good one. And a drill. Oh, look right here. I'm doing a great job getting down in there. into the corners. She's coming up pretty black though. You don't want to scratch that in there because you don't want to ruin the seat. It's just brass. I'm just making sure that it looks like there's crud in the in the corner. Now that's not where the seat hits, I guess. But my Q-tip not doing a good job of cleaning that. And these are not. I don't know how to replace those. Whether they're press in, probably press in. So let's just give another little blast of carb cleaner here. All right, let's give them a blast of air. All right, we'll go. If we have a leak, then we know where to look. But we'll try that the way that it is. I think in the last video I did the blow test, and I think it was fine. So, all right, let's get this out here. Which way did I have those? Is that the way? No, I had them this way. Keep all our parts together. Yeah, those are harder than a rock. Yeah. See what else I got. Not really good. I really don't like destroying this stuff just in case something happens and I got to put something back in for temporary until something can come. I don't think it'll matter in this case because these are really toast, but still, you never know. Those ones I pulled out of the Goldwing, when I redid the Goldwing carbs there, they actually weren't bad. Somebody had already replaced them, I'd say. Just a little bit of, let's say, sealant down there. A lot of people they'll start to leak, they'll get compacted, and they'll start to put like Seal All or RTV and stuff in it. I mean, I'll use a little bit too sometimes, but usually it's not to seal it. It's just to keep the gasket from displacing when I go to put it on. Yeah, because some of these aftermarket kits, again, like it doesn't fit 100%. They never do, right? Boom, pulls that. So we will use just a tiny bit of black RTV. When I say a tiny bit, I try to make it a tiny bit, but I really don't like using this stuff a whole lot because it's always nasty. Yeah, so we just got a little bit down in the channel there, in a couple of spots, and that should keep it in place while we get it seated. So these are genuine Kawasaki. This is the only place I could get them other than Jets R Us, who is not shipping out of the lower 48 right now for whatever reason. And the website was all like, we're not doing priority shipping, or we're only doing priority shipping at like a special request because people keep complaining that stuff's not arriving in time and blah blah. Like, wow, like that's. I mean, people are jerks, but they you know, if they don't understand the current world systems, but you know, customer's always right? Yeah, I guess not to Jets or Us. They don't care. Anyway, the tone of the message was, even if it was meant like factual or just stating a fact or, you know, making a statement, it did come off snarky to me. I don't know. I'm usually pretty easy going about that stuff, but yeah, whatever. Squeezed out. Like, I'm sure the mic is picking that up. It's my neighbors up the hill. And like, I don't know if they know that their voices carry this far. I'm really hoping my voice doesn't carry that far. Because when they're out barbecuing or doing it, I can hear every damn thing they say.
Danny, get up here.
Alright, well, that's one carburetor done. Let's get on to the second one. I just usually give them a little wiggle just to see, make sure that the O-ring kind of sits back in. You don't want to pinch it. Alright, review, make sure we don't have any missing parts laying around. See, like if you're not using the whole darn jar, these things are terrible. Because the caps never get them airtight. As much as I try to get it airtight, it just never gets it airtight. Oh! Uh-oh. We got some carb cleaner splashed down on that. Look how quickly that just destroyed that. We're going to have to give those another... We'll have to take those off and give them another little shot of stuff. Well, that's too bad. I think they turned out really well. Oh, the other thing I got. We got new carb boots because the other ones over there are destroyed. So I'll set you up over there and we'll get these installed. I have very little hope those are going to come off. I don't know whether I should just hit them with some PB Blaster or WD-40 or something, whether that'll help or not, but we're going to try. Got my JIS T-handle. And I can't get my impact in there. So, come on, JIS. Now this one's, somebody's already tried at this one, so. Nope. All right, let's try some heat. Oh, just not quite straight. Okay, I don't know if that helped at all hitting this, getting the whack, but we're gonna try it before we. Oh, look at that, it did. It did. Impact driver to the rescue. All right, there's two. There's no way I'm gonna get in there. Not unless I take the air box out. And how much of a pain in the ass is that gonna be to get that out of there? Going deeper and deeper into the rabbit hole. Like a little mousey been chewing on that. Now it's gonna have to come all the way out. Just a little too fat that way. There we go. It's got to be cleaned out anyway, so it needed to come out because it's still got most crap stuff in it. All right. That looked too bad in there, really. All right, so 220 on a block. Stuff that rag in there. Let's get all this crud off here. Give our new boots a good seal. There. Why use a block? So you get a good flat surface. Now that's not perfect, of course, but it'll be closer than not. So our new boot. Now you could put some sealant in here, and I probably should, and I probably will once the motor comes back out again. And I'll probably put a little anti-seize on these bolts so that we don't get a lot of corrosion between the stainless steel and the aluminum head. Yeah, all right. So just clean these up a little bit. Get our boots on. Here we go. All right. Now I sometimes use a little grease on those. It's not going to hurt anything. Well, it's a good thing we can fast forward for you guys. I can't see anything in that oil light. No, it's not. I don't see nothing. I can't see through it. So I don't know whether it's full of gas and oil or whatever. So before we start this sucker up, we better drain a little bit out and see what's going on. Yeah, there's oil. It's like disgustingly dark. It smells like fuel. Yeah, it wouldn't have been good to start on that. Well, maybe not, maybe not. Maybe all the fuel's at the bottom. Yeah. We'll let that drain, I'll bring you back. Alright, so we got our little fuel tank hooked up. Alright, now we gotta get some oil in it. Cheap old car oil, 10W40. You know, you wouldn't want to run this in your motorcycle. Car oil has additives, friction modifier additives, that will, you know, don't play well with wet clutches. So if you don't have a wet clutch, or your engine oil is different than your clutch oil, or your transmission oil, then you can run car oil, like some Harley guys did. Don't start an oil thread on your local forum, we'll give in. But since this is just going to get sloshed around and drained, we're not going to run the clutch on it. I don't really care. So it'll get the motorcycle specific stuff once we rebuild the bike. I'm going to put some gas, it's just a little 2-stroke oil in this, just to help lubricate that top end. We'll hook up the battery jumper pack and we'll give her a try. I don't see any gas coming down through here. Nothing through the overflow. All right. Let's see if we got some fire in this sucker.
Boom.
Well, there to run. Now the clutch cable doesn't look like it works, so I don't know if we're going to be able to get. I wouldn't mind going through the transmission to find out if we got gears. So I'd say the clutch isn't grabbing at all. The clutch cable must have the clutch pulled because we're getting an initial bang. That's all we're getting. So I assume the clutch is sliding. So that's all going to need to be looked at. But hey, it starts and runs. The rest of it's just going to be cleaning it up. Yeah, so that's a mess in there. That's your clutch push rod. So this thing twists out, and as it twists, it pushes out and it pushes against that rod. But I don't know. That's in there quite a bit. Yeah, she's solid. So yeah, the clutch is gonna have to come apart, I think. I'm gonna give her one more shot and just see if we can get any go on there. So you hold on, I'm gonna sit you down over here. Okay, we're good to go, baby. All right, well, took a little longer today than I wanted to because of some interruptions upon interruptions, but yeah, so that's gonna cut it here for the 440 for this episode. Remember, we still got the tank to look after. It's over there, chilling. We rolled it in 2-stroke oil, but there's still a couple little pinholes in there we're gonna have to clean up. So, and then we'll get the cap all cleaned up and back on it, and then we can use that fuel tank. So the exhaust needs done on this, you know, before we went too far anyway. So I think we'll just set this project aside until we get a few other things cleaned up, and then we'll come back to it maybe sometime in the summer when things slow down a little bit. And yeah, so we'll take it down to the frame and really go over it, I think. Anyway, for Chaff the Trail Trash Garage, like and subscribe if you like this kind of stuff, and I'll catch you in the next video. I know we're in Canada because...
A boot! That's a boot! Sorry.